What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, helping you take your game to the next level. And if you want to take your game to the next level and win more online head-to-head games, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. I drop the best Madden content on YouTube. Make sure to hit the bell notification icon next to the subscribe button so that you're always updated as soon as I drop new videos. Now, for the next few videos, I'm going to be going over the Jumbo Heavy. People have requested it for a while now. More of the a lot of players probably know about it already. They've seen it online. It's my favorite formation this year. Personally, it was the formation that I had the most success with by far. It is kind of old news now. It ran its course, but it's still very good. A lot of people have trouble stopping this, plain and simple. So people have been requesting it. So I'm going to go over it in a series of videos, because there's a few plays that really need to be broken down. Now, the first thing you need to know is you want to use the wide receiver wing package. So if you take your right stick and flick it to the left, that is going to put your top two wide receivers on your depth chart. It's going to put them on the outside of this formation. Your two inside guys will be tight ends. That's what you want. You want wide receivers out here because they have better route running, more speed, etc., etc. So the first play I want to really talk about in this first video is going to be the PA counter waggle. This is the play that I typically come out in. I usually either come out in that or I come out in the stretch if I feel like I want to run the ball. But I come out in the PA counter waggle a lot. Now, the setup, there's tons of ways you can set this up. The most simple way is to just streak the tight end, the A tight end, and then I usually block the running back. And what's so good about this play is it's just a cover 2 destroyer. This B route nothing really defends this B route too good. Cover 3 does an okay job, but it destroys cover 2. If you have a 96 plus route running guy here, it destroys man. And I'm going to show you. So first, this is cover 2, and just right when he cuts, you just pass lead this to the sideline or up. It depends on where the ball goes or where your receiver's placement is. You either want to possession catch it or rack catch it if you have the room. With cover 2, a lot of times you're going to be possession catching it because you need to kind of catch it on the sideline like so you need a good receiver there. But this route, just over and over, if you don't user this route, it really can't be stopped, because even if you man it up, if you have a good route runner here, he's going to beat his man that's manned up on him. So you really kind of have to user him in most scenarios. And then what else is good about this play versus cover 2 is if someone is using that, you have this Y route coming underneath, and you're going to be able to pick up about 10 to 12 yards typically with that route itself. Now, other good things about this, you have this post route. It's not going to look as open here, but what happens is a lot of times when you're playing online, they're going to user like the middle linebacker. So they're going to take this guy, let's say, and he might be, we're going to put him out here because we're going to try to simulate a user going out here to guard Antonio Brown. So that's why we're going to put him right there, because a lot of users will do this. And when that happens, a lot of times you're going to have this post route over the middle like that. So when you're in a game and you're playing someone that runs a lot of cover 2, which most people run cover 2s for the majority of the game this year, you have the B route, you have the Y route, and usually they're going to use a middle guy, a smart player, and try to go over there and cover Y or cover B. And when they do that, like you just saw in that last example, you can quick pass X. Now, against a cover 3, you can still kind of hit this B route, but it's not as recommended. What's going to happen is you throw it right here, and you kind of have to hold the aggressive catch. Now, a good wide receiver will hang on to it a lot of times, but that's really not how I recommend attacking cover 3, but it is an option. If you have a good wide receiver there, you can make it happen. But typically, if I see cover 3 after the snap, I'm going underneath to the Y route, because no matter what defense they're in, they're going to try to user that route if they see it coming. So you're going to always be able to pick up the Y route underneath almost every time. And again, same thing with a cover 3. If they are worried about that route, they're going to take this middle guy. And again, we're going to kind of simulate. If they're running over here to guard Antonio Brown, again, you're going to be able to quick pass this post over the middle. And that post, I'm telling you, when they're using the middle linebacker and they're worried about that B route, the post route's going to eat all day long. Now, if they go man, we got great options too. The good thing about this is you can't bump any of these guys in man. Tight ends can't get bumped at all if they're on the line. And technically, this is 4 tight ends, because just because we have wide receivers there, they're in a tight end stance, so you can't bump them. So this B route against man, if you have a good route runner, you see the separation that he gets when you have a good route runner there. Man will not cover him. You have to have 96 plus route running there in order to get that ability, though, to just pretty much beat any cornerback. But then again, you still have the Y route. This is a really good beating man route if you have a good tight end there. This tight end is not even good, and you saw the separation he got. So when you're in like Ultimate Team and you can have whoever you want there, you have two of the best tight ends there and then two of the best wide receivers, this formation's a pain to stop. And then again, here you go with the X route. That's unbumpable. That post is going to be filthy versus man coverage. Now, an alternate way to set this up would be to streak A and then put put X on a slant and then block the running back. And when you do this, you just motion snap him like that, which it just gives a little bit of a different look. And you know that that route is really good against man. If someone's like manning that guy up a lot, that's a very good man killer. If it's cover 2, cover 3, like we just ran a cover 2 there, so I'll switch to a cover 3. That motion slant pretty much works against any zone if they don't play underneath coverage, and if they play man, it's going to get open against man too. So you're always going to have a little bitty window there to hit that in. But again, what you have to realize is a good user is going to be on one of these middle guys, and they're going to be running to try to cover Antonio Brown. So when that happens, the middle of the field opens up a lot with this. Now, another good thing about this formation is it's symmetrical. So if you hit the X button and then the right trigger, you're going to flip the play, but you're not giving it away. So basically, you want to run this play. You want that the X. Now it's the X route. It was typically the B route, but right now on this, since we flipped it, it's the X route. You want to run this play with that route going to the wide side of the field. So if you're on this side of the field, on this hash mark, you want to flip the play and have that route going to the left, because that's when you have all the room to make it happen. So we're going to go against a cover 2 again, because if you're on the short side of the field, it doesn't give you much room to work with that route. So you want to have it on that side of the field. So when you're on the wide side of the field, you can literally get one play touchdowns out of this because you have so much room to work with. And typically you're going to be on one hash or the other. So that's something to keep in mind. But what's also, like I said, is just good because you can constantly flip the play without them knowing. So if they're so used to you just going, attacking the right side, and you're in the middle of the field or something like that, you flip it to the left, and their instinct's going to be to run to the right side of the field, but now you're going to the left, and you've completely taken them out of the play. Now, another good thing about this formation is it is easy to block nickel blitz out of it because we have all these guys on the line. So with this play in particular, if someone was setting up nickel blitz against you, which, let's get it set up. And you're going to know nickel blitz when you see it. You know what it looks like. So here it is right here coming off that edge. If you see him setting up nickel blitz, all you do is just block the X wide receiver. And then you can set this up the same way, block the running back, streak A. So you have one less option on the play, but he's still going to pick that guy up. And then you still have B and you still have Y. So that's probably my favorite thing about this formation is it is the best formation for blocking nickel blitz. It literally can't get in. You don't have to do a play action. You don't have to do any weird motioning. You just block the guy on the outside, and it's picked up every time. So this is the first play. This is the play you need to get down first. This play really makes this formation move. Now, in the next couple of videos, I'll be going over a couple of other plays in the formation that really, once you put them all together, it's just a pain to stop. It's, in my opinion, the best formation in the game. So definitely stay tuned for that in the next few days. And if you haven't run this yet, if you haven't given this formation a chance yet, I know it's kind of the end of the year, but if you're still looking for something new to use and you haven't used it yet, this formation right here is tons of fun to use, and it's so hard to stop. I mean, you're going to put up a lot of points with it, and that's always fun. So definitely, get in the lab and try to use this in some games if you haven't yet. I promise you will have a lot of fun using this formation. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, just like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, one more thing I forgot to add to the end of the video. I wanted to show it against DB Fire 2 Press as well, since that's another one of the big defenses in the game this year. So no matter how they run it, whether they crossman or they blitz, if you think they're going to blitz, again, just block the X receiver. That should be enough to block this, and then you just run it standard. And they're going to pick up both guys, and then, again, you have the B route or the Y route, depending on which where they user guard, you can still hit it. Now, the other good thing about this is even if they try to cross man, it's not going to help on this play, and that's because okay, if you take this X guy right here and try to cross man him on B, he's not going to get over there in time to stop this route. So that's a no-go. But even if you man up this guy on B too, because he can't get, yeah, it's, well, not necessarily just because he can't get bumped, but because this route is so good with a 96 plus route running guy, he's still going to get separation, and that's what makes it so good. So even against DB fire to press, this formation is just so good. And then even if they go to this, another good thing is you can audible to the halfback dive and usually do pretty good against this and usually get about 4 to 5 yards. There we got about 3. But typically, you're going to get about 4 to 5 yards or more. If I can try to set this up. It's being difficult. 1 second. Alright, so we got it set up again. And just audible to the dive play and just try to hit the holes up the middle. As you can see, you can get big yardage out of this. And then one more thing you can do, which is what I really like doing against this dollar defense, is you can audible into goal line. You just hit the X button, go over 1 with the analog stick, and you can audible to like power O or halfback sting because it's technically a heavy formation. So you can audible into goal line, and goal line typically does pretty well against this dollar defense. There I ran into my blocker and he block shed. I didn't hit the hole well there, but just showing you that that's another option you can do. So if they go to DB, fire to press, you got multiple ways to beat that as well. That's why this formation is so tough this year. But I just wanted to add that into the end of the video because that is very important, and I forgot to add that in. So again, as always, if you do like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.